I hope you just watched part one of this, which was focused on the day in the life of a social worker who does micro work. This one is going to be focused more on a social worker who does more macro work. So any social worker who isn't working directly with clients and who does more administrative or behind the scenes work. I got my experience doing this working for a government office. And this government office was focused on public health priorities in the city. A day in the life of that. So I did a lot of my life revolved around sitting in front of a computer. So it was like a typical job where you have an office and where you come to work, do your work in the office and then go to lunch, come back from lunch, do the work in the office and then go home. So it was kind of like that typical 9 to 5 type thing. One downside of macro social work is that you may get bored if you are a people person, because you can go days without interacting much with anyone. So yeah, it could be a little difficult for someone. However, the benefits of macro social work is that you do have the ability to get paid more and take jobs that require more responsibility and more, I guess, of a management focus, so you can advance to higher levels. And yeah, in result, you can get paid more. But macro social work is more about working with other people in the helping profession as opposed to working with clients. So you're going to be working with people from a vast area of different, nonprofits or helping social service departments. What you are going to be doing is working to help people who are oppressed from the ground up. So you are going to be building initiatives or building programs from the ground up to help these people. And you work with a team of other professionals from other areas in order to get their knowledge and apply it to whatever you're trying to do so that it can be very successful. Because in order to build anything that's going to be successful and sustainable, you're going to need different ideas from people with different levels of experience and people who have experience wide range of different stuff. So when I was in this organization, basically we were working towards initiatives focusing on child well-being or child welfare. And one of my main tasks was to, build this campaign or this initiative that would help to make people become more aware of the issues that children were at risk of coming in contact with. So I would have to work with different professionals, and it's really an interesting job because you're doing duties that aren't social worky. You're dabbling a little bit in marketing, and you're dabbling in management, and you're dabbling in like all these things. So it's really refreshing to learn different tasks that maybe you didn't learn during your time in your MSW program, and connecting with people in different fields and learning from them. And it really does help you to become a well-rounded person. And yeah, you learn a lot from doing macro social work. When you are trying to build sustainable efforts to help people, you need money, right? Like, for example, for this campaign that I was helping to put on, I needed money. So you have to learn how to market what you're trying to do, and you have to learn how to, work with other people and make these strong partnerships so that you can go to them and be like, hey, would you be willing to donate to this cause? Like, this is what we're trying to do. This is the goals. Like, help us out. And also, you really have to learn how to manage groups and learn how to lead meetings, because with macro social work, a big part of your job is going to be having meetings with these different professionals and coming together and planning for whatever you're trying to accomplish. So planning is really big. Also, one thing that was really annoying for me but really good is just typing out minutes and being able to clearly put together or consolidate everything that was talked about, or keeping everyone up to date with what was already accomplished in the past meetings and what we need to do going forward, and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it was really exciting. And another part of macro social work is creating tools that will be used by people who are actually out in the field working one-on-one with clients. So as I mentioned, I didn't work one-on-one with clients, but I did have to help with the creation of health promotion trainings that would later be implemented by other people into the communities. One thing with macro social work that's interesting is that we are helping to, okay, this is the downside about it. You're helping a community of people that you don't even come in contact with. So, see, this is where a lot of the problem comes in with people who are into politics or politicians or whatever. They are making these policies for people who they don't even come in contact with on the daily basis. So even though, you know, there's more opportunities for growth and there's more money to be made and there's bigger roles and bigger responsibilities, however, you are very removed from the people that you're helping. So you have to ask yourself the question, like, how can I really help these people if I'm up here and they're down here and like I'm not even with them. So when you're doing macro social work, it really is good to try to get out into the field as much as you can, and you know, look for any opportunities within that role that you can to actually be in contact with the clients that you're helping. One good thing that I learned was a lot about public relations, because when you are doing these efforts, like a big part of what you're doing, you need to sell to other people, as I mentioned before. Like, you need to work with the press, you need to get what you're doing to go into the newspaper or to be presented on a website, and it's really good to learn how to build a website. Yeah, you just want people to support your efforts, and you want it to be well known so that you can actually help the people that you want to help. And research is really big, because you want to, you know, stay up to date with researching whatever your focus area is. So like, we worked on child welfare, so it's really good for me to be up to date with the research happening in child welfare, and also to present that to other people. Once again, like, you're trying to get support from other people to help you with the cause, so you have to tell them, all right, this is why we're doing what we're doing, because 20% of children have been, you know, whatever. You have to be able to shout out these facts. Overall, macro social work was a very unique experience, because it gave me the opportunity to learn a lot and to touch on things I didn't learn in class at all, and that traditional social workers don't usually do. However, this is probably for anyone who wants to help people, but you don't want to be directly, you know, in the field. Or a lot of times people start out doing micro social work and then they move to macro social work later on. It's definitely an opportunity to build your leadership experience. And if you're someone who really likes creativity, and there are opportunities to be creative, but sometimes people higher up can be afraid of change or not open to a lot of change. So that's one struggle that you may have to deal with. But yeah, so that's my take on a day in the life of macro social work, or, you know, the typical job duties or whatever. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions about macro social work, please ask them below, and I'll talk to you later.